What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Underground Stars Season 3. Thank you so much for the support on Episode 1. And today I'm here with...
Mextra Terrestrial.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Good, man. How you been?
Good. A lot of... I just finished school this past month, so a lot of packing, coming home, unpacking, getting all my stuff set up and work. So it's been a little bit.
Right on. Yeah. Just grinding, just trying to just put out shit. Just kind of keep putting attention to the recent collab project I did with Young KS.
Yeah, that was fire. I liked that.
Thank you.
That was
a feature producer Dex on track 2, Toxic, of course.
Mm-hmm. I was going to talk about that. How did that kind of all come apart and come together and everything?
Okay, so just me and Young KS, we had worked. I did a couple features on his collab project, the God is a Trap Star project.
Mm-hmm.
So after a couple of those tracks, he brought me on to his collective 808 Genesis. So we were talking about, well, up until that point, I think we were working on the single,
Mm-hmm.
Watch Out, which was the first thing we put out on my end that was on his project.
Yeah.
We're thinking we need to get a little bit more on my discography,
Yeah.
really. So we were thinking of what's something I could do. Thought of an EP, so just quick 5 songs,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of thinking about telling a little bit of a story. It's kind of influenced by the short story Monkey's Paw. Are you familiar?
Mm-hmm. I've heard of it. I've never actually heard it.
Right. The pretty much the basic the idea of it is be careful what you wish for.
Mm-hmm.
So it's that kind of thing. It's like it's vaguely influenced by that. Just kind of like a story of someone kind of getting what he wishes for,
Mm-hmm.
and then having some negative impact later on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that was the idea that went into it. So we wanted a little bit of a, especially towards the end, a little bit of a dark, eerie vibe.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we just went one track at a time. I think we ended up actually finishing them in order of in chronological order. Funny enough.
No way.
But so ended up working out very well. The way we end up doing it is he would just show me a bunch of beats. I'd have ideas on what I want a song to go with.
Mm-hmm.
He'd have a bunch of beats and just kind of sort through them. If I found something that was sticking, I'd finish writing for it, send it back to him.
Mm-hmm.
He would put it together, then tweak a little bit on the beat just to so it flows better together. We just mix and master it after that, and that's it.
Dang, that's a fast process for both of y'all.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Yeah.
Is that kind of usually how your own process goes too? Whenever you're making songs, just that kind of quickness?
Yeah. So yeah, especially recently on the recent style of music, I've been trying to do it more vibey, more catchy,
Mm-hmm.
and so I focus less on the structure of a song. Like, okay, this is this part, this goes this way. I usually just I'll listen and rap to beats just all day, just also practicing on freestyles. And if I see something that's starting to sound really good, that I'm like, oh, actually this could be something,
Mm-hmm.
then on it and just start flowing on it. Then just go back, then just kind of revise it. Then I'll start start writing after I already have an idea of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll already have the melody and stuff down pretty much before I even start writing.
Dang,
So,
yeah.
yeah, and then after that, I just feel like it makes it more organic,
Mm-hmm.
and makes it really blend with the music.
Yeah. And I bet that kind of allows you to just make so much more songs than you usually would. Just
Mm-hmm.
because you're starting off with ideas instead of trying to just make it all completely in one go.
Right. Yeah.
That's cool. I have not heard of just kind of because that's what I usually do whenever I sit down and make beats. I don't fully flesh out a whole beat. I'll make like the start of it, like the main body, and then move on to the next one. Make the main body, then move on to the next one, because that way I have a lot more of ideas put on like my computer than if I would spend like a whole hour trying to make 2 or 3. I have about 10 or 15 that I can choose from, and then choose like the best 5, 6, or 7.
Yeah. See, I feel like it just makes it. Yeah, you just because you don't want to force it. You know, you want to have fun. It needs to be enjoyable, and then people feel that if it's good vibes.
Yeah. And is that
For
something
sure.
you kind of recommend some other, like, just up and coming artists kind of try out, to like just sit down one day and just like start with ideas instead of trying to fully put together one whole song?
Yeah, I would advise just whatever you do, just don't force it. Just that's the main thing. You know, whatever direction everybody tries to go, if you start getting stuck, either keep moving on to the next one like we're talking about right now, or if you want to work on a single project, then just take a break off that.
Yeah.
Just give yourself time. You don't want to rush it.
Yeah.
Like I used to, like growing up, I used to draw a lot, and I was just, and my impatience sometimes got to me, so it would end up looking pretty good. But at a certain point, I'm like, man, I want this to be, I want to finish, or I want to be done. And so then you don't want to rush it. So it's all just having fun, and just be okay with maybe sometimes even not being inspired, because I feel like it all just ends up connecting and ends up working out anyways.
Yeah. And speaking of 808 Genesis, how did kind of you, because I know you were worked with KS way before 808 Genesis became a thing, so did y'all kind of come up with it together? Did he make it himself and then want you on board? How did that kind of all flesh out?
It was more like he came up with the idea and brought me on board. For sure. That respect that man. He's about it. He's about the grind. He's about really got all these ideas, and he's like, make it happen. So cool to work with him. We actually met because one of his friends is friends with one of my friends. Because I'm from Oklahoma, he's from Texas, and our friends know each other from gaming online.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so then I knew of the other guy because of my best friend, and then he knew of me, and it's sort of like, oh, we both kind of make music.
Yeah.
And then I made a track with that guy, and then that's where Young KS first heard me, and then he was like, yo, what's up? And so that's when we started working together, just from mutuals of mutuals kind of thing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it ended up working out. Now we just, it's great.
Because you're both in the same area, pretty much, right?
Me and KS?
Yeah.
Oh, no, he in like around Austin, Texas. I'm in Tulsa, Oklahoma, so.
Oh, that's, okay, yeah, that's right. I knew you're either close to him or in Oklahoma.
Right, yeah.
Because there's a few people who I know who are in Oklahoma. Because Drake's in Oklahoma. Yeah, I knew you were close to either one of them. But I mean, that's still pretty close. That's like, because from Dallas to Austin, or from Dallas to Oklahoma is like a 2-hour drive. From like Dallas to Austin's like a 3. So that's not that bad. 5 hours.
But I'm in northern Oklahoma, so it's like about 6 hours, I think.
Yeah.
So something like that. But yeah, it's not too bad. And like just we've been like with every project we made, we weren't in the same room. We were just like, I sent him stuff. We go back. But I did get to go down there like about, what was it? About 5 months ago. I went down to Texas. Well, we linked up and we got in the studio. We worked on track 4, I think. And I'm like, man, dude, if we could just do that, that would be, who knows telling what we could come up with,
Yeah. I mean, during this whole quarantine thing, it was really cool seeing the ability of, because like sending beats to artists online was already a thing, but seeing the extent that you can create doing that.
Oh, yeah.
Was crazy. And plus now, it's when everything's opened up, you can still go to the studio or whatever, but let's say you meet an artist online who's over New Jersey or like Maine and you're in California. You don't have to spend a lot of money bringing them in when you can just send stuff back and forth and communicate that way after we've done it for about 3 or 4 months so far.
Oh yeah, yeah. I definitely doing it a whole bunch during quarantine. Like, yeah, I got the hang of it. It's a little easier to even send high quality files, and just it's just getting easier to work back and forth like this. It's just we can just get it happening like real quick too.
Yeah, it's cool to see how that's gonna like not change everything, but how people are gonna adapt it into like their normal work progress and their workflow.
Mm. Yeah, for sure. Definitely room for a lot more opportunities than without that.
Yeah, but I mean that I'm not just saying this just because you're here, but that I listened to the project and it was great. I loved it. I 100% loved it.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Both of y'all killed everything. Plus Dex on his track too.
Mm. Yeah, appreciate that, man. Yeah, it was really cool. Where he's still sending me some stuff, so we could be popping more things. But I think right now, me personally, now that I got a couple songs, now I got that EP, the single before that, I think I'm gonna focus on dropping singles, maybe or just kind of close to that.
Yeah.
Just focus more on pushing singles. That way, there's not as much wait for projects, and then I can focus on like pushing a certain thing and try to make it go as far as I can.
Yeah. And plus with that, pushing singles is you don't have to stick to one vibe like you do on a project. You can put out like 4 different songs with 4 different vibes, see which one sticks, and then go with the one that sticks.
Yeah.
There's more room for experimenting and more room for just widening anything.
Right. Of course, yeah. And that's also another reason why I like just kind of getting into a song without thinking about the whole structure of it, and just kind of going at it, because there's a couple songs where and I think it was on God Is a Trap Star. It was Bag. Just even the structure wasn't completely orthodox, but I feel like that's even that can be good in a way, because then you pull on by surprise. They think something's coming up and you hit them with something else. Just kind of keep so it keeps it interesting.
Yeah, I feel like that's something that a lot of like up and coming artists don't pay attention to as much, is they try and which is 100% fine with them, but they try and push a certain vibe instead of trying to experiment for a lot of different vibes and see which ones stick, just because they want to be known for this certain sound, this certain beat or whatever. Right. When they are missing a whole more target audience they could be reaching just by just changing maybe one song or one instrument or something like that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, because during quarantine, I spent a whole lot of time during quarantine like experimenting. Like I was like, I knew I just locked myself in the studio, just working just on my sound, just working on my sound. And that's when I went through the name change too. I was just like, how can I just rebrand myself, market myself, and then just trying different sounds. Like before when I was still on my old name, I had I had like an album I made, and it was like very like emo rap vibes.
Yeah.
So that was my main niche, and I was like, okay, now let me see. I did that. Let me see what I can do, because I never, you never know what could stick and what you can do really until you.
Yeah. And what was your name before this?
I was Sadaf the Pharaoh.
It's kind of fire. Can't lie.
Yeah, that was, and then I went through a couple, like the very first, because I started rapping about, what is it? It's 2021, like 2010, so like 11 years ago. And so I started with Rodriguez. That was my first name. Then I made a little project under that name named Two Face, and I'm like, man, I really like Two Face. So I kind of mixed them. Then what I went for a long time, I was Two Face Raw. After that was Sadef, and now I'm Mextra.
Yeah. And how'd you come up with Mextra?
Mextra, really just I wanted something. I wanted something that could mm, how to explain it, but just because it's kind of layered, and it can perhaps even people talking.
Mm-hmm.
Um, wanted with Sad AF, I wanted like it's spelled Sad AF, and but I was like with that name, I wanted it was like a little more nichey, and I'm like I
Mm-hmm.
want to be able to grow in my music and not stay with. I don't want people to see
Yeah.
something and think a certain vibe, and this is what I'm gonna be like.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be able to have a name and have a music where I can sound like anything,
Yeah.
and what I used to do. I don't want to stick with a certain niche, and that's when Mextra came about. It's like, you know,
Yeah.
uh,
Cause.
Mextra, like the Mexican, the and out of this world, just being different, trying different
Mm-hmm.
shit.
That's
Yep.
fire. Yeah. I never really thought of that. Like your name really. If you have a name that's really on your niche, that means you kind of have to stick to that one
Yeah,
thing.
it could be limiting it, not
Yeah. I never really thought of that actually, just because I know brand wise, like companies, that's a huge thing. But for like artists, because a lot of artists use either like their first, like their first, like their real name or whatever. But with yours, whenever you hear it, it just sounds cool. You don't really think of Mextra, sad music or hype music or pop music. It's just
right. Just, it
anything.
is so
Yeah.
for sure. That's definitely what I try to portray.
Mhm.
And, yeah, and even on paper it looks nice and stuff. So I was like, this is the one.
Yeah.
I had a list of a bunch of them that I was like debating on. So that ended up being my favorite.
Yeah. Yeah. And things are opening up in Oklahoma right now, right?
Yeah.
So have you been performing more or anything?
No, I haven't. I haven't recently. I haven't recently. The last one I did, when was that? It was a couple months ago. It was this year. It was like about a month ago. I did a little show at a bar in Tulsa. It was pretty cool. It was for my boy Bradford. What was it? It was I think it was an album release party for album tour for a Glass Pack project he had. So yeah, so that was cool. He's a cool dude. We recently dropped a track together on project after that. But yeah, he's been grinding too, man. He just got projects on projects, so really cool shit.
Yeah. That's cool. I can't wait for everything to open up and just have people be able to perform just everywhere.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Especially like everybody like you, Jake Tavion, Mercy, like everyone who's just been putting out music like crazy in the whole quarantine. Whenever performances open up, they have such a wide variety to
Oh,
choose from.
I'm like, even with the EP, that's a set list right there
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. It's
for
gonna
sure.
be, it's gonna be cool to see just scrolling through Twitter one day and just performance from like all these underground artists that I just follow or we've interacted or anything. It's gonna be so cool just to see them performing all their music.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. I've been waiting. I've been waiting to do more.
Hmm.
Waiting to do performances. I got all these ideas and stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there was one that was gonna happen this month that ended up getting canceled. For that same reasons. Stuff.
Hmm. And to kind of backtrack a little, how so you said kind of like the last 10 years you've gone through like a few name changes and everything.
Yeah.
So how long have you been making music?
Yeah. Shit. It's been. If I could really sit down and count, I'd say like around 11, 12 years. Because I think I was about. Yeah, it was. No, it was like 12 years. Yeah, because 12, 13. Was it 13? Dude, man, time's been flying. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's been like 13, 14. Because yeah,
Jeez.
because I graduated high school 2012, and I think on my freshman year I started making music.
Mhm.
I first started, like then. I mean, I've always been like more inclined towards the arts and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, First, I would just draw all the time and stuff like that. Listen to music here and there, but that's when I really just kind of started like writing. I started like writing my own stuff, and then I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. I bought a mic. You know, parents got me a mic, and I tried making music. It was more, you know, it was for fun. I always had the idea of like this is what I want to do. Like I actually, and it's actually I'm the type of person sometimes I'll get super obsessed with something, and that's just my whole life for like out, and then I just forget about it. But music's the one thing that I've just been strictly about it this whole time. But it wasn't until like two years ago, I'd say 3 years ago, that I really like started getting like serious about like getting out there, meeting people and stuff like that, and like really trying to actually push my music to actually do something about it, like get in front of people, like doing shows and stuff. Before then, it was like, you know, school talent show or something like that. But yeah, it wasn't until a couple years ago that I started getting real serious about it.
Yeah, so that's kind of like me. I mean, I used to be one of those people who, like, every few months would have like a new thing that they're working on, like graphic design at one time, architecture at one time, just something. It was super cool for like a few months, and then I'm like, all right, I'm kind of sick of it. What's next? And then like music came up, and I was like, all right, cool, yeah, that's cool. And then 2 months doing it turned into 3 months, and then 3 months turned into a year, then a year turned into another year. So it was like the only thing that really stuck. And I mean, every day I learned something new, and every day I just started loving it more.
Sure, I feel exactly the same way.
And so that's crazy. That's so 2012 till now. That's crazy.
That's like,
I could not.
Well, 2012 is when I graduated, but it was my freshman year, so it was more like 2009.
Oh yeah. That's crazy. About 2009. That's 12 years. No, not 12 years. Yeah, 12 years. If my math is correct.
2009. It's 19. Would be 10. 2021. Yeah, like 12 years.
Dang. That's crazy.
Yeah. First sound was I was always influenced the most by Lil Wayne. That was always the GOAT. But flow wise, I always gave like more of aggressive sound, and then I would like try the whole rap fast and stuff like that. But I think my aggressive sound started coming from my first mic was like really bad. Yeah. So I like really project myself, but I think that ended up a lot, because before that, if I listened to anything before that, it was very like lazy sounding. So it almost helped more or make my voice. I also influenced vocally by Jonathan Davis from Korn, favorite band ever.
Yeah, that's cool.
Those two being my top influences is where I got the emo rap vibes from last project.
That's cool. That whole mic story, I mean, that probably helped you a lot, just have a presence in your songs rather than just being part of like the ambience of it.
Yeah, for sure. That really influenced my aggressive take when I was doing that. And yeah, after that, just a bunch of practicing. I really think it's important. I mean, if you like a sound, you like a sound, but throughout the years, I've had to like learn to morph and your sound always has to evolve.
For sure. Yeah. And so what is kind of like the next step that you want to take, either sound wise, project wise, just in general?
Now I think like right now I've been really studying. I've been trying to look up and better, because I think the part that always falls a little short is the mixing and mastering of the tracks. That's my Achilles heel, you know? Yeah. That's where I'm the least savvy at. So just making sure that gets to be where it needs to be. But sound sound wise, I don't have a specific sound or vibe. I have 2 singles lined up that I know I want to do. One's actually done, the other one I'm working on. But these next 2 songs are more like a party vibes. The next one's like a party vibe. The one after that, I really do want to drop around June because it feels like the kind of song that you bump in the summer, you know?
Yeah, it's like just a summer vibe.
Yeah.
Okay. And do you do your own mixing and mastering then?
With during this project, which I ended up helping a lot, just having, because KS did a lot of that. So on this last project, so that's the reason why it ended up pretty good. He was helping me out with that, but yeah, on that project, yeah, he helped me out with the mixing and mastering. And I'm starting to get some of the hang of it now.
Yeah.
So hopefully on the next ones we'll be able to hear it.
I mean, once you kind of understand the basics of what each one does,
right,
then a lot of it's honestly playing it by ear, whatever sounds good to you.
Yeah, I think whenever I do it, my main issue is the whole vocal and track volumes, or like, yeah, sometimes sounding just a little bit underneath where the sound is.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's, you got to find like that perfect middle ground to where the vocals lay perfectly on top of the beat.
Yeah. So,
because there's a lot of people who make good music, but their mixing isn't great, so the music itself doesn't sound as good as it should.
And I like now I know some people talked about they've been like, the music industry is really oversaturated. There's a lot going on right now, but I'm like, I think with everything that's going on, it's really like really making it to where really pushing people's talents into where a lot of great music can happen, because these artists coming out of here, since there's so much competition, like there's like everybody's learning to do everything. You got people making beats and making the vocals. You got people mixing and learning mixing and mastering and making studios and using their own booths, and a lot of people doing this and that. Like I'm like, man, like a lot of it's like talking to older friends, and they talk to me about how they're like, oh, I'm not really into like that new stuff. I'm like, bro, it's a whole different level of genius, bro. A lot of these dudes get in the booth and just rap, dude. They ain't even. I'm like, there's just a lot of craziness going on in the music world, the rap, or like the more rap side of the music world today is just crazy, like crazy talent.
And I mean, people are right. There's a whole lot of people trying to make it in the music business industry and making just the same kind of music because that's what sticks. But like you said, it's pushing other artists to either learn something new or create a whole new wave just to get on top of those people who are just pushing just what the mainstream wants. And so it's good that there's a whole lot of artists out there making music, and I get where they say it's bad because a lot of the music out there is just the same beat type, same vocal type, same just vibe and everything. But I feel like it's really helped push those people to a whole new level.
Yeah, for sure. In the end, it's I feel like it's doing a lot more.
Yeah,
a lot more good.
Yeah. So, I had one more thing I wanted to talk about. Yeah. So, your whole with this latest EP that you just dropped, what was kind of like your whole process of? Did you kind of go into it like, I want this kind of vibe, I want kind of to have this just whole theme around the project? Because the whole project was really spacey, ambient. It had like a whole theme that kind of threw out the entire thing. So was that kind of your intention, or did it just kind of happen?
Yeah, for sure. I had the idea. I ran it by KS. we were like, yeah, just kind of like we're going. We were actually, it was almost a little more of a collab because I was, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? And, he'd bring ideas to the table too. But it was very. I had an idea in mind. I had a vibe I wanted to give. We're both, I'm like, we're both on that spacey ambient vibes. Yeah, and then I'm like, what with storytelling? I know what each song wants to give. I know it's with the whole monkey paw thing, you get 3 wishes. All right, 3 wishes. There's 5 songs, and then you see the story go through peaks and valleys. Track 1, track 2 is going up. Track 3 is the top tip of the iceberg. It's also in the middle, in between. It's also the song that's called 3 wishes, and that's the one that has the beat switch. That's when the vibe changes to this and this.
Yeah.
So I did have an idea. I'm like, I know what I'm gonna say in each song. Now I just had to get the song, get the instrumental that where I'm like, okay, that's it. That's where I can tell this part of the story, and it's just me just running in there and just doing it.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's something that I feel like not a lot of people do anymore, is sequencing and having like a theme just throughout their entire project. Which I feel like that separates certain artists from everyone else.
Right. Yeah. There's an inspiration I got was these projects by Jaden Smith. Yeah, those 2 albums, Sire and I forgot the Iris. Yeah, Iris and Sire, which is Iris is Sire spelled backwards.
Yeah.
The two albums that had 2 different vibes. He's like, this is this character, this is this character, and yeah, that storytelling. It was really good. I really enjoyed that. That was part of the inspiration for the song, or for the project, and just the storytelling aspect of it.
I definitely see that. I didn't like Iris as much, but Sire, I loved that album so much.
So good. So good. I'm like so underrated, man. I'm like so mad when I see stuff like that and it just don't get the attention that it should.
Like, I remember it came out, I'm like, yo, did you listen to that new Jaden Smith album? And he was like, who would listen to a Jaden Smith album? And I'm like, bro, trust me, it's great.
Out of this world.
Yeah. So, to end it off, we got 3 questions. Just like your 3 wishes, but they won't hurt at all. The first one is, in 2 words, describe you and your style.
Ooh, in 2 words. I guess I'd say forever changing, because it's forever, because I'm going to keep doing it, and who knows what's going to be next.
That's good. Second is, if you could go back and listen to an album for the first time over again, which one would it be?
The Carter 3, bro.
Yeah.
That I was like, I think the album I had most on repeat. I connect a lot of my childhood memories with that. And great project.
It's a good choice. Definitely feel that. And then third is, what kind of advice you have for other upcoming artists, just in general.
I'd say just make sure you're just you love what you're doing. I feel like that's the way that's the really way you can keep it going. That's the thing that's gonna, because there's a lot of negativity that can come with how everybody says the classic, you gotta fail to win, fail to succeed, and but all those L's do can get to you. But if you love what you're doing, you ain't gonna stop doing it. So I feel like, number one, you gotta love what you're doing, and just keep working on everything. Take also don't be afraid to change or take different advice. You also don't want to be so into yourself that you don't accept help. Also work on your weaknesses, and like what I still struggle with is which I would say help, and I need to listen to this, is is social media and networking, bro. Like,
big thing.
God, that's like I hate it, bro. But I just want to go in there, make music, and then there you go, and people listen to it, bro. But you got to push that stuff, and it does pay off, bro. Like, I had to drag myself and make myself, put in for Spotify playlists and all these posts to hype it up. But honestly, it does pay off, and I'm like, wow, I did these things, and it's actually working. So you just got to do it. Yeah, stop talking about it and do it, bro.
So that's a great way to sum it up. Stop talking about it and do it. That's what I feel like a lot of people need to hear that and actually take it to heart.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I mean everybody, honestly. I've been procrastinating posting on Instagram just in general this whole like 2 weeks.
It's so hard, bro. It's so hard.
And I mean, I'm pretty sure they're like debating whether or not to take away like the option to have like likes shown, comments shown.
Right.
So, I mean, realistically, because a lot of people don't want to post because they're like, oh, no one's gonna like it, no one's gonna comment on it. But if they take that away, then nothing's stopping you. Like, you'll still be able to have it reach a bunch of people without just kind of like that insecurity of like, oh, no one's gonna like it.
And I feel like another way that could actually help is a lot of times people will not even give things a chance if it doesn't already like have attention. So if everything's just gone, everything's on the same playing field, then a lot of overseen talent could be given a chance. Sometimes people will even listen to something when they're scrolling and see an ad post, but then they see, oh, they ain't got nothing. I'm not even gonna.
Yeah.
So for sure, yeah. Maybe if more things were like that, a lot it'd level the playing field for sure.
Definitely. Well, appreciate you doing this, man.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me.
Of course. I'm gonna be sending over a season 3 sticker.
Hell yeah.
So it's cool. These are big. I didn't realize how big these were compared to last season's. But they're cool. I like them. So I'm gonna be sending this one over to you. And make sure y'all go check out his EP. I'm gonna have that linked in the description below. You're on Twitter, Instagram, anything else?
Twitter, Instagram. I have a Facebook page under the same name, Mextra Terrestrial. Yep, pretty much everything.
Cool. And it's MEX, right? Or is it just MX?
MEX.
MEX. All right. So yeah, follow Mextra Terrestrial. Everything's gonna be linked below, for real. But yeah, everybody, thank you for watching. Make sure to go check out Mextra Terrestrial. Everything, and this goes up Monday. Yeah, that's right. So we will catch y'all next week. Peace.